I was kind of nervous about it, but one of the things that made me really move forward, out of all things, it was Kendrick Perkins. And he was talking about his role with ESPN. And I don't remember the exact words, but paraphrasing, he basically said that there were a lot of people who thought that he shouldn't have the role that he has, because if you listen to Kendrick Perkins, he doesn't really come off as like the typical sportscaster. He has a different style of speech, a different way of presenting himself.
That's good,
and he was
though.
talking about, huh?
That's good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what
it's personality. It's different.
Exactly. And that's the point that he was making, was that because of the way that he talks, a lot of people thought that he shouldn't have the role that he has in ESPN. And he said that, like, what he does is, instead of focusing on the haters, he focuses on all the people who like him, all the fans that he has, and all the people who support what he's doing and like his personality. And he was like, if you focus on people who like what you're doing, then that group will keep growing, and just don't worry about the people who don't like what you're doing or don't think you should be doing what you're doing. And I was like, you know what?
You're right.
He's right. He's so right. And so I was like, I'll just give it a shot. Worst case scenario, I don't get a lot of listeners, and I'll, figure out what to do then. But, there could be some people who are looking for this kind of content, and it would be great. So,
the ESPN as a whole, right? Like, if you take First Take and you just take the audio, it's a podcast. It's literally a podcast. It's just a little more structured, a little more formal, and there's more commercial breaks. But the idea of this panel of people sitting at a desk talking sports very, like, conversationally, that's a podcast. That's relatively new to ESPN. Like, Around the Horn and PTI have been around since forever. But that's very quick bits. It's just like they just draw that out. It's a podcast. It's a podcast format. And Kendrick Perkins, again, the P stands for personal. And for Perkins, apparently, he fits that mold perfectly. So I'm glad that you see it that way about Kendrick Perkins. All right, my fellow listeners, you've made it to the end of the clip. Shout out to Kendrick Perkins, by the way. I'm glad they inspired the Bitches Love Sports podcast to keep going and be different. So I want to know, who inspired you to be different? Drop it in them comments down below. Like, share, subscribe. The works. You know it all up. You know how it is by now. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Later.